Hello, welcome to She Heals Herself, the Masterclass. So, just gonna give everyone a few minutes to join. As you join in, say hello. Let me know who's joining, who's with me. And if you're watching the replay, then as always, hashtag replay. Let me know that you are here or that you've seen the replay. So just giving everyone a few minutes to join. If you are watching the replay, you can skip ahead probably 1 or 2 minutes just to skip the intro. We are bang on 8:30, the exact time I wanted to start. So, baby's asleep. Hallelujah for us. Hello, as you join in, let me know in the comments that you're with me. Hi, Debbie. So, just as I'm waiting for everyone to join and to get started, I want you to let me know in the comments, what does healing mean to you? So when you hear the title of the masterclass, She Heals Herself, what does this mean to you? What does healing mean to you? Some people, when they think of healing, they think of physical healing, body ailments. For some people, it's mental healing, mental health. For some people, it's healing trauma from the past. For some, it's healing a broken heart, healing relationship or family issues. For some, it's healing financial issues, okay? So when I'm talking about healing tonight, I'm talking about all of the above. So physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and financial healing as well in this masterclass. Okay, so Debbie says peace and healing at all levels. Yes, absolutely. And so, what do we think it is that's keeping us from experiencing peace and healing at all levels? What is it that's keeping us from healing and peace at all levels? Okay, now I wonder if there's a way that I can pin in the comments, because if I pin that question, let me write that question out. Okay, what is it that is keeping us from peace? I'll just put peace on all levels. Okay, that is a question I want to come back to. So I'm going to put that comment in and see if I can pin it. Doesn't look as if there's a way to pin it. Okay, no worries, I won't forget. So we're going to come back to that question, okay? But feel free to write your answer in the comments now if you want to say what's coming through for you right now. What is it that keeps you from peace and healing on all levels, okay? And you may not know, and that's absolutely fine, because that's the purpose of tonight's masterclass, is to find out. Not just to find out what it is that's keeping us from peace and healing on all levels, but to find out why, okay? So this is kind of like the situation at large. we notice that we have a physical ailment, and we may go to the doctors or to a health practitioner to find out what it is. What's this thing that's wrong with me? Why? Why have I got this symptom? And 9 times out of 10, you will be diagnosed and told that the reason you have X symptom is because of Y in your body, all right? So let's think of an example. Okay, so the reason that you have weight gain is because you have an underactive thyroid, okay, or something like that. So you'll be diagnosed and told what it is that's wrong with you. But you won't really be told why. And it's the why that gets to the root cause. And it's identifying the root cause that helps us to actually heal at the root level. Because otherwise, as we know, symptoms can be patched up and they come back later, either as the same thing or as something else. Okay? So the real question is why? Why do you have an underactive thyroid? Well, we're going to get into that later on as well. So I've already put one question in the comments. What is it that is keeping us from peace on all levels? Okay. You may already have an answer for that. If you do, drop it in the comments. I'll come back to it. And the second question is why? Why? Why is my body manifesting symptoms? Okay, so it's not, the question is not what is wrong with me, it's why. Why is there a symptom manifesting? Okay, and again, I'm going to come back to that question later. All right, guys, so I'm going to get going with the masterclass now because I know that most of you are going to be watching the replay. Okay, so I would like to begin by sharing a little bit of my healing journey with you. All right, so my healing journey, this is something which has become my life's purpose, and it's something that I would never have known when I was in school, that I was going to be doing this, that this was going to be my life's purpose. But it found me. And so the way that it found me was through a party girl lifestyle and a severely broken heart. And this occurred in my late teens, very late teens, early 20s time. And yeah, I was drinking a lot of alcohol. I was going partying on the weekends. I didn't see anything wrong with that. That's what all my friends were doing. But it was not making me happy, and it was certainly not making me healthy. The crazy thing about it was that I was going to the gym virtually every day of the week and like pushing myself really hard in the gym and eating what I considered to be healthy, okay? But when I look back, it was an extremely, what's the word? Extreme, I guess. It was an extreme diet. It was a restrictive diet. And so pushing myself that hard in the gym and eating such an extreme diet and being really, really extreme with my rules around my eating and my drinking during the week. And it all goes flying out the window on the weekends. And then we're going to get into energy in just a moment, okay? But on an energy level, my vibration, my overall kind of calibration was extremely low, okay? And so vibrating at that low level, I wasn't happy. And I ended up as I said, severely heartbroken. And I met my miraculous teacher, my very first ever mentor at that time. And so I won't get into the details of how I met her and everything, but basically she worked in my company, and it wasn't my company, it was the company that I worked for at the time. But she was a Reiki master. And so very quickly, so I started having Reiki treatments, and I started feeling almost like a euphoria from the Reiki treatments. And very, very quickly from having the Reiki treatments, didn't feel as heartbroken and felt a confidence and a strength come from nowhere, or seemingly nowhere, about me and being single and being independent and being able to run my own life. And very quickly, through having the Reiki treatments, I didn't want to drink alcohol anymore. But it was a long journey of deciding I didn't want to drink alcohol anymore to spending more time in the excuse me, in the healing energy of Reiki, and the vibration changing, my energetic stamp, the vibration of my energy field changing, increasing, meaning that it was no longer able to withstand the lower energy substances anymore. And I would suffer greatly when I did drink alcohol and, go out partying and staying up all night and all of those things, which we're going to talk about the opposite of in this masterclass. But my body could not withstand those vibrations anymore. And so every time I would drink alcohol, I would become very, very ill afterwards. It would take a long, long time to recover. And so on the healing journey, that eventually healed, all right? Because there was this sense of obligation there. There was this sense of, oh, you have to go, it's someone's birthday, or you have to go, it's like there was just this, everyone's doing it, it's normal to do it, you're not normal if you're not doing it, and if it's so-and-so's birthday, then it'd be really frowned upon if you weren't there. And when you're on a journey of trying to give up that kind of lifestyle, there's a period of time where you actually shouldn't be putting yourself in situations where there's going to be temptation around, because you're not strong enough to say no. But the Reiki was the first step on my own healing journey. And what I noticed very quickly after receiving the Reiki treatments was this euphoria, this blissful feeling, falling back in love with life, not feeling brokenhearted anymore, and beginning to change my lifestyle. And all of this happened as a natural, it just happened spontaneously. Okay, it wasn't a conscious decision. It's just my vibration started to change. And so what is vibration? All right, what am I talking about when I talk about hydration? Hydration, yes, we will get on to hydration as well. All right, but vibration. Everything is energy. Absolutely everything. And your body is physical, mental, emotional, and energetic. Okay? And so when you think a thought, you have an immediate effect in your body. You think a thought, let's say, for example, you get embarrassed, your face goes red. Let's say, for example, you're nervous about having a conversation with someone. Maybe you've got to give a presentation at work or something like this. And every time you think about it, you get that churning butterflies feeling in your stomach. Okay? There is an absolutely instant energetic response which you feel physically from your thoughts. And so your body in and of itself cannot experience itself. it is experienced in a field that is higher and more refined than the physical dense body itself. And the body, the physical body, it's experienced through the field of sensation. Okay, so your body can't feel or know itself. It experiences pleasure and pain through sensation, which is a more subtle and higher vibratory field. Sensations in and of themselves cannot experience themselves. They're experienced in a field that is higher, and that is your mind. Your mind is aware of sensation in your body. Your mind, in and of itself, cannot experience itself. Your mind is experienced through a higher, more refined and more subtle field, which is consciousness. And so every person gets born at a particular consciousness level. Okay, so if you've ever seen Dr. David R. Hawkins' work, The Scale of Consciousness, this map of consciousness is the backbone of all the work that I do today. And it was very soon after I met my first teacher, my Reiki master, that I actually learned to do Reiki myself after a few treatments, because I noticed the profound effect that it had had on me and the changes it made in my life so quickly. And I almost became addicted to this other lifestyle, the healing lifestyle. Okay, this gave an energy and a happiness and a bliss that was not circumstantial, that wasn't going to give me a hangover. So it was a more permanent high rather than the temporary highs that most people tend to become addicted to. Okay, so if you've been on a healing journey of your own for any length of time, then you may notice that experiencing these higher vibratory fields actually becomes quite addictive in itself, but in a very good way. And so the body can't experience itself, it's experienced through sensations. The sensations can't experience themselves, they're experienced through your mind. Your mind can't experience itself, it's experienced through consciousness. Okay, going back to what I was saying about consciousness. When we're born at a certain consciousness level. And we have a potential to reach in this lifetime. Okay, and we can choose, this is where free will comes in, we can choose whether we're going to reach that potential or even surpass it and reach full human potential in this lifetime, which is absolutely possible. Or we can actually drop in consciousness by remaining addicted to substances. And hi Hayley, if we remain addicted, we can actually drop in our consciousness level, okay, which is kind of the opposite of what we were born to do. Okay, we were born to fulfill our own unique potential in this lifetime. Okay, and obviously there are addictions like alcohol and drugs. There are big addictions, okay, but there are smaller, more subtle addictions that actually most people have, okay, including all of us on this call here tonight, okay, because these more subtle addictions, they again seem normal, like everyone else is doing it, so if I don't do it, it's like I'm weird. Okay, so things that we're addicted to that are more subtle, we're addicted to social media. We're addicted to thinking. This is the biggest one, is actually we're all addicted to thinking. Okay, and as we increase our awareness, we can start to examine our minds. And we can examine our minds to see if the thoughts that we're thinking are habitual, day-to-day, automatic thinking, if it's limiting us, if it's actually serving us or not, okay? Because if your limiting beliefs and your habitual thinking is not serving you, then it's actually blocking you from experiencing your full potential. Okay? But as I do, keep going off on tangents, going back to the main point, your body can't experience itself, it's experienced through sensation. Your sensations can't experience themselves, they're experienced through your mind. Your mind can't experience itself, it's experienced through consciousness, and we're all born at a certain level of consciousness, and we have a potential level of consciousness to reach in this lifetime. And your consciousness itself can't experience itself. It's experienced through awareness. Okay? So, awareness really is the key to self-healing. When we are aware that we're aware, then we're actually dwelling in the state where all things are possible. Because all things, if we look at the scale of consciousness, if we look at the David Hawkins map of consciousness, okay, I'll post it in the group after this call. But if we look at the David Hawkins map of consciousness, we'll see that every single vibration on a scale of 0 to 1,000 exists, okay? And the scale is on a vertical line, okay? So time exists on a horizontal line. You've got the past, the present, the future, okay? And as we go through life, it always seems as if we're moving from one place to another in time. And even when we think about the future us that we want to create, we think of it as in terms of I'm moving away from a past self, I'm who I am in the present, and I'm moving towards who I want to become, okay? But all of that time-bound is thinking, is time-bound thinking, okay? The Hawkins Scale of Consciousness, which shows us that every vibration exists, is actually on a vertical line. And the vertical line represents the present moment, okay? So what this means is that every vibration exists in the now. So what this means is, when we look at the scale, we see peace, love, joy, freedom. They all exist actually now. Their frequencies, their energy, their vibration, okay? And so, healing, the word healing means to become whole. To heal is to become whole. So in order to become whole, it means not rejecting any part of our experience. When we reject any part of our experience, what we resist persists. So when we're thinking about healing, just thinking about the human body to begin with, when you want to heal your body, the first step of healing is fully accepting things, your body, exactly as it is. That's step one, okay? Without this full acceptance of your body exactly the way it is right now, it will be very difficult and take a long time to heal. Whereas the truth of the matter is that healing happens in an instant, and that instant is now. Healing happens in an instant when we can totally accept ourselves, our body, exactly as we are now. When we can accept, okay, so on this scale of 0 to 1,000, anything below 200 is out of integrity, okay? So that means if you look at the scale of consciousness, anything below 200 are taking you away from growth, evolution. They're actually blocks to your awareness. And they're the things that we do experience on a day-to-day basis, okay? But they're the things we can become addicted to because they seem to give us temporary highs. They seem to give us something quick, a quick fix, okay? And they actually vibrate quite low. And so, true healing happens when our vibration rises, okay? When our vibration increases. So energetically, we have to become bigger than what it is that we are trying to heal, okay? So whether it's a physical ailment, we have to rise above it. We have to vibrationally become bigger. We have to increase our energy. And then energetically, we vibrate higher on the scale, okay? Higher frequencies on the scale, okay? Love, peace, joy. So when you look at this scale, you'll see that below 200 are things like grief, anger, desire, fear, guilt, pride, shame. And so the lower vibrations, guilt and shame, on a scale of 0 to 1,000, guilt and shame vibrate at 20 and 30, and 0 is death. No energy at all. When we look at the scale of consciousness and we see 200 is a quantum leap level. Once we get to 200, once we are even at 201, we're out of that. We're over the integrity line. And energetically, we are naturally buoyed up by life. It's like being a cork on a sea. As the sea level rises, the cork goes up with it. And so, as your energy vibration increases, you go up the consciousness level scale. 200 is a quantum leap. The next quantum leap on the scale between 0 and 1,000 is 499. 499 is the absolute ceiling on the intellect. So science and intellectual thinking can only get you, the rational mind can only get you up to 499 maximum on the scale. Once you break through that level, 500 is the vibration of love. Love is the true healer. Okay? So, first, it's acceptance, accepting things exactly as they are, and then love. So, the quantum leaps on the scale. 200 is the integrity level. 499, once you get over that, you're in the vibrations of love. So you've risen above the intellect and science. Okay? Nothing wrong with science, but it's limited. And love is bigger and more overarching, all-encompassing. Okay? Stronger and the vibration of healing. And so once you're on a path of self-healing, once you're on a path when you start to increase your vibration, when you start to live with love as your main intention, when you love yourself, and then that love radiates out towards others, you'll start to heal. Things in your life will start to get better, easily, miraculously. I'm not just talking about health, I'm talking about every area of your life, okay? Because once you live in the vibration of love, that is all-encompassing, okay? It can't be boxed in. You can't just keep love in one room. It goes everywhere because it becomes the context of everything. And then the next quantum leap level on the scale of consciousness is 540. Okay, so 500 is the vibration of love, and 540 is the vibration of unconditional love. And once your consciousness, your energetic vibration reaches the level 540 on the scale, you're at the miraculous level, okay? And this is when things permanently shift. Once you reach level 540, you're like a walking miracle. And it's all available now, right now, in this moment. Okay, so the only thing that's standing in between you and the level that you want to be aligned with, okay, so there's no better levels, there's no worse levels, okay, you're going to experience the full scale, because it is all human emotion exists somewhere on that scale. So it's actually healthy to experience all emotions, but what is healthy is experiencing them, and what is unhealthy is getting stuck in them or getting addicted to things which seemingly give us a quick fix to get out of them, okay, temporarily. So being on a conscious path, increasing our vibration, loving ourselves and loving others is the true key to healing. And once you hit level 540, it's automatic, okay? And so everything we're doing on the healing journey is to align with those higher frequencies on the scale, okay? So the so-called lower frequencies, the lower emotions, are not bad, okay? They are part of normal human life. And I can go a little bit deeper on that in just a moment. So we're not saying higher is better. We're just saying that we're aligning ourselves with the frequencies where healing truly occurs. Okay? Love and unconditional love. Okay? And so step 1 is acceptance. Totally accepting everything as it is now. Okay? And then rising up from acceptance, naturally rising up into love. And then from love, living our life in alignment with love, naturally becoming the miraculous level, okay? Naturally becoming the walking miracle, all right? So, my story. First mentor was my Reiki master. After a few Reiki sessions and noticing these massive shifts in my life through the energy work, I became a Reiki practitioner and a Reiki teacher. Okay, I was very blessed and fortunate in my life to start attracting more mentors, more teachers, because, as they say, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And so my teachers were Jason Chan, a Taoist master who taught me about Qi. He taught me about real life force energy, and he taught me how to increase my energy, okay? So we can understand the scale of consciousness intellectually, but he taught me how to live it, how to increase my energy, okay? And these are all the things that I teach now. Then I was even more blessed and fortunate to be mentored personally by Barefoot Doctor, a very famous acupuncturist, and he created a lot of healing music towards the end of his life as well, okay? And so healing frequencies can come in the form of music. And so from studying with Barefoot, I really, really wanted to become an acupuncturist. And so I became an acupuncturist, a practitioner of Chinese medicine. And through my understanding of Qi as taught by Jason, and this scale of consciousness as the backbone of everything I practiced myself, I started to practice my acupuncture from those understandings, okay? And so the Chinese medicine philosophy is the most fascinating, holistic, and all-encompassing philosophy, okay? And you would need to see a trained practitioner in order to get the correct diagnosis and treatment in terms of Chinese medicine. Before you today, I'm going to tell you all about the Chinese system, which is called Yang Sheng. And Yang Sheng is the sort of lifestyle advice that we give. And Yang Sheng means the nourishment of life. And this is what it's all about. It's all about nourishing your life force so that you can increase your aliveness, okay? Because this is where true health comes from. It comes from an abundance of energy within. When you have this abundance of energy in your cells, in your meridians, pumping around your body just like your blood pumps from your heart. Your chi pumps through your meridians. They're invisible energy channels. And when you have this abundance of energy, you experience harmony, because in that abundance of energy, your body can heal itself. And so knowing that any disharmony in the body is actually a result of either low energy, an energy blockage, or a chronic thought pattern, okay, that doesn't serve us. Because remember what I said about how your mind is linked to your body through your energy system. And if you think a thought, it manifests instantly in your body, okay? So if you get embarrassed and your face goes red, and that happens so quickly, imagine what it's doing to you chronically if you have a chronic thought pattern towards someone or even yourself that's angry, that's judgmental, that's not loving. And this is why the first step in self-healing is acceptance. Because if you are judging yourself, and if you're thinking thoughts, judgmental thoughts towards yourself, you're holding, those thoughts will be sending energetic signals that will be having literal physical chain reactions in your body and physical symptoms developing over time your body's trying to keep itself in balance, and it's also trying to warn you that something's out of alignment here. And what it is that's out of alignment is 9 times out of 10 is this: we don't love ourselves, number one. And so accepting things exactly as they are, accepting ourselves exactly as we are, and then rising naturally from there into the vibration of love is the ultimate way to self-heal. But through awareness, we can start to tune in, and we can really start to identify what are those thought patterns that we're having. What are those chronic thought patterns that are not serving us? What are the limiting beliefs that have been running us our entire life, okay? Through awareness, we can become more attuned, and we can notice these insidious patterns sooner, before they actually get the chance to create a detrimental manifestation in our health or our life, okay? So I'm not just talking about health, I'm talking about relationships, I'm talking about our career, our finances, and our spiritual connection to our higher purpose and to a higher power as well, okay? If these lower thoughts and emotions become chronic, then they actually can manifest in the body, okay? So on my journey, first I met my Reiki master, and then I had mentors such as Jason Chan and the Barefoot Doctor. Another instrumental mentor that I met on my path was a lady called Vivian Talsmat, and she's an absolute expert in weight loss. And her entire system, her weight loss system, she got two specialties: helping women to lose weight and look younger. And the way that she does that is through detoxification. And so it's toxins in our body that can actually create a lot of these symptoms. Okay, so sometimes it's coming from the external environment. It's toxins that we're putting into or onto our body. And sometimes it's the toxic environment that we are creating for ourselves with our thoughts and getting stuck in chronic emotion patterns, okay? And so what the body is doing is it's always trying to keep itself in harmony. Your body's always trying to heal itself, because your body has the innate self-healing ability. Okay? And so all these things that we're talking about tonight are ways that we can support the body to function at its optimum. Okay? And it doesn't take going and hammering ourselves at the gym and restricting our diets to the point of absolute depression. What it takes is accepting as we are, loving ourselves. Living in the vibration of love is such a powerful vibration. It actually has the ability to trump everything, even what you eat. Okay? We can get away with eating what we may consider to be naughty foods, okay? When we're living in the vibration of love. But when we're living in the vibration of love and we truly love ourselves, that means we probably won't want to eat the things which we would consider naughty all the time. We wouldn't want to do that because it's not in alignment. And so there just isn't the urge to do it, okay? But you can treat yourself. And you can eat those things from time to time with absolutely no problem whatsoever. But if the body's environment is toxic internally, what it starts to do is it starts to protect itself. It starts to, if the elimination organs are overloaded, the liver and kidneys, then the body starts to create more fat cells and starts to pack the toxins into the fat cells. And this potentially could be why some people struggle to lose excess weight, is because actually they just need to assist the body to detoxify and obviously love themselves, okay? Assisting the body to detoxify. So one of the ways the body protects itself is storing excess weight in places which are far away from the organs, like the buttocks, hips, arms, okay? Places where your body takes it away from the organs. What are other ways that the body can try to eliminate some toxic load is actually through colds and flu. So sometimes experiencing colds and flu can mean the body is toxic overload. And so sometimes experiencing a cold or a flu is actually quite a healing process for the body. Going back to the original question, why is my body manifesting these symptoms? Okay. Why, if it's cold and flu season, why do some people get sick and others not? I would say that it is toxic overload in the body and chronic thought patterns and emotions which weaken the organs, okay? So now we're really getting into it, guys, okay? So your organs, if there is a chronic thought, there'll be a chronic emotion that goes with that thought. All emotions are housed in the major organs. So the heart houses joy and sadness. The stomach houses worry and overthinking. The liver houses frustration and anger. The kidneys house fear and drive. Have I left anything out? The lungs house grief. And so if you are noticing an issue with any of those organs, there could be a chronic emotional block and a chronic thought pattern that's holding it in place. Branching out further, the organs, so like the lung, for example, it manifests in the skin. So if you've got chronic skin issues, it could be that the lung is impaired because this grief, sadness is weakening the lung. Okay, the lung is paired with the large intestine, which is letting go. If you've got grief that you're finding it very hard to let go of, then increasing the health of those two organs, the lung and the large intestine, is what is needed for helping you to let go of the grief and then strengthening the lung. Okay, so this could be at the root of your chronic skin problems. Okay, every organ in the body has an entire system. Okay, so we call them the systems of the body. We don't just call them organs. Okay, and in Chinese medicine, they're all seen as working together. All these systems interweave and overlap. They're not just separate organs like they are in Western medicine. They're just separate organs that do their basic functions. They're not that. In Chinese medicine, they're that, and they're also the house for aspects of your soul, your joy, your sadness, your fears, your drive to heal, your frustrations at your plans not going to plan, and the ability to make plans that are in alignment. All of these psycho-spiritual functions are housed in your organs. Okay, guys? So, this is Chinese medicine, okay? But it's completely holistic in the way that we're talking about it, of how the mind is connected to the body and to the organs and to these systems in these ways. So we're looking at a completely holistic system and completely holistic ways of maintaining the equilibrium and balance of these systems. Okay, so the yang sheng, the nourishing of life, the increasing of your life force energy, so that your body has an overabundance of energy that it can keep itself in homeostasis, in yin yang balance. Okay, how do we self-heal using the principles of yang sheng? We're not so much concerned with what it is we're eating, but we're very concerned with how well we can digest our food. Okay, so digestion is one of the key things that we look after. We eat in terms of energy. So in Western medicine, they may say, okay, this food's got so many calories, or this one's a carbohydrate, and this one is a protein, and you should eat more of this one and less of this one. It's not about cutting out any significant food groups. It's not about restriction in any way. It's about self-love. And so we eat according to what are the energetics of the food. Okay? Certain foods energetically deplete the digestive system. Certain people are different constitutional types. So from birth, we are either earth, metal, fire, water, or wood in the Chinese medicine system. If you're an earth element type, you're prone to weaker digestion. And if your digestion is prone to being weak, then eating damp forming foods will weaken it even further. Okay? On top of that, if you're worrying a lot, that's going to weaken it even further. And if your digestion's weak, probably you will worry a lot. Okay? And so the antidote to that is to strengthen the qi of those organs so that the digestion is better, because we're not what we eat, we're our ability to digest what we eat. And you will worry less, meaning there's less chronic thought and emotion pattern going on in the body. Okay? Digestion, sleep. Sleep is fundamental. If you've got any problems with sleep, there's probably a pathology in one of the organs. I'm not saying that it's a physical problem, but an energetic balance problem. Okay? So the heart is related to falling asleep and the liver is related to staying asleep. Okay? So if you're having trouble falling asleep, then it's the heart. And if you're having trouble staying asleep, it's usually the liver, okay? And so if you're having trouble staying asleep, things we want to look at are detoxification. The liver may be overloaded and unable to do its job properly. And stress. Stress seriously impacts the liver, okay? And so Western living today is so stressful on a moment-to-moment basis. Most of the stress goes completely unnoticed by us, by our conscious self. But it doesn't go unnoticed by your liver. So even just driving down the motorway and making split seconds decisions over and 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 over again for however many hours you drive in, that heats the liver like nobody's business. Okay? Then you get to your destination and you have a drink of alcohol, then you have a big meal late, and then you go to sleep in a hotel room and you can't stay asleep. This is because the liver is out of balance, okay? So if you're noticing anything with your skin, it could be the lung. If you're noticing it with the digestion, it's worry. If you're noticing it with your sleep, is it either the heart or the liver, okay? Any lower back issues, 9 times out of 10 is kidney deficiency. So your kidney stores your life force essence and we use it up as we go through our life. And in the West, we don't have practices to restore and to nourish and maintain what we've got, okay? And so most people are running on an empty tank. I like to think of the kidneys as a bank account. So you've got like your current account, your savings account, and most people are living over their overdraft, okay? So if your kidney energy is strong and good, you've got investments, savings, and you're in your, you're in the black energetically. If your kidneys are struggling, you could be in your overdraft. This could start to manifest like being tired a lot, being afraid, anxiety, fear and anxiety, lower back, knee issues. And then if you've gone over your overdraft, it's like autoimmune conditions, okay? So the Yang Sheng principles of nourishment of life focuses on sleep and digestion. Breath is a big one, okay? If you want to increase your life force in this moment right now, okay, take deeper, more full breaths. Just being more consciously aware of your breathing, okay? Blood is a huge thing in Chinese medicine. I would go so far as to say that the entire Chinese medicine centers around blood. And most people in the West are blood deficient, okay? What this means fundamentally is if your blood is deficient, your soul can't root into your blood, okay? So if your blood is deficient, there's a massive disconnect between your soul and your body and your ability to feel like you're fully manifesting and living out your life purpose. That life purpose we talked about, the one you're born to live. Your function, your role, what you came to this planet to do. Without enough blood in our systems, there's a massive, massive disconnect, okay? And low blood can lead to sleep problems, anxiety, menopause problems, and also depression, anxiety and depression, okay? And I have known people who've been severely blood deficient and actually committed suicide. It's that fundamental, okay? So increasing your blood is imperative. And there's ways you can do that through supplements, through dietary advice, and one of the best ways of increasing your blood is actually through your breath. You can re-oxygenate your blood and you can start to feel more alive and awake and aware and energized in this moment right now by consciously breathing, okay? I have got so much that I can teach you about breath alone. I can do an entire online course just on breath. Everything we've touched on so far, okay? An entire online course just on each point, okay? But I'll come to that bit later. But for now, the yang sheng, you've got breathing, sleep, digestion, exercise, but not over-exercise. In my first book, Choose Life, I talked about ways that you can increase your chi, your life force. Eating energetically, not eating by calories or food groups, okay? Knowing how much yin, how much yang each food energetically manifests in your body, and also eating for blood nourishment. Eating to nourish your yin, eating to nourish your blood, and eating enough so that your body has an abundance of energy, okay? Hydration, staying well hydrated, okay? Because the chi that is flowing through your body is running, it's like an electrical impulse that runs along your fascia, the connective tissue. And if you're dehydrated, it can't run as smoothly and as well. And that in itself can make the blood thick. And when the blood is thick, you get circulation problems and potentially pain. So staying hydrated and breathing well really help with the viscosity of the blood, okay? And the blood is not just your physical life force, which is massive in and of itself, but it is your connection to your spirit and your soul as well, okay? So we don't just connect to our spirit and soul when we die. We have it all available now. Every single vibration on the scale. Every single potential life experience we can have, from the most mundane to the most high spiritual embodiment, all exist in the present moment, and they're all there for the taking now. So the yang sheng is the nourishment of life, okay? And finally, last but no means least, stillness. If you know me, and if you've been watching me for any length of time, then you'll know that I am all about stillness. Because it is in the stillness where we can be completely aware, the presence of now, the awareness that's looking out from behind your eyes, the I am that is I am, the I am that I am. I'm aware that I'm aware. That awareness is pristine. It is untouched by thought. It is untouched by trauma. It's untouched by your past. It doesn't think, and it's not in time. It's not time bound. It's all of it. It's the past, the present, the future, right now. It's every vibration on the scale, right here, right now. And that is what's looking out from behind your eyes. And so carving out time on a daily basis to spend in stillness is the utmost thing that you can do for yourself. Because when you do that, you don't have to consciously think, what am I doing? What am I doing? Am I doing all these things right? Am I sleeping well? Am I eating well? Is my digestion working well? You know, am I loving myself? You don't even have to think of those things, because in the stillness, everything recalibrates back to the alignment with life itself. And so one of my teachers, Miranda McPherson, calls this witness consciousness. So this awareness that's looking out from behind your eyes, the witness consciousness, it simply witnesses this present moment. It simply witnesses. We can watch nature, and nature goes through all its cycles, and it keeps itself in complete balance. So who's to say that when we observe the natural patterns of our body, what seasons our body goes through, who's to say that temporarily experiencing an ailment or an illness isn't just like the winter in nature, a necessary purge. Your body ridding itself of what no longer serves it so that it can bloom again, so that it can move into its next stage of evolution and growth with ease. Who's to say? I'll tell you who says it. Your mind. Your mind will say, this isn't right. This shouldn't be happening. There's something wrong. I have to fix it. In witness consciousness, we can simply witness your calibration returning to alignment with the impulse of life itself. In witness consciousness, you don't even have to think about accepting things exactly as they are. It's just done. It's a done deal. In witness consciousness, you don't have to think about loving yourself because attention is love. Attention is love. And so your awareness is unconditional love. It's the miraculous level itself. All right, guys, I'm aware that I've been going quite deep here. Okay, so what have we touched on so far? We've talked about Reiki. We've talked about the scale of consciousness. We've talked about Chinese medicine. And we've talked about mindset. We've talked about stillness and awareness and carving out time for meditation. Okay, these are all self-healing modalities which I practice on a daily basis. Okay, and finally, have I got it here with me? I don't think I've actually got it here with me at the moment. But the final thing that I want to talk to you about on tonight's masterclass is imagine all the things I've talked to you about tonight, all of the ways of bringing ourselves back into harmony, okay? Being aware of what it is that's blocking the harmony from occurring in the first place. Imagine if you had a little electronic device that could actually tell you exactly what it is that's off kilter. It could tell you if it was a thought, a chronic limiting belief. It could tell you if it was an emotion. It could tell you if your energy was low. It could tell you what vitamins and minerals you were lacking in. It could tell you what chakras were out of balance. It could tell you what meridians you need treating. And what if that device could even send you the energetic frequencies, because everything is energy, remember? Imagine if you had a device that could tell you what's wrong in an instant and send you the frequencies to correct that imbalance. Well, that is exactly what we have here, okay? The Healy device. If you don't know about this already, then the Healy device is a wearable device which has a quantum sensor inside. And this quantum sensor reads your energetic field. And it can tell you in an instant what's out of balance, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and send you the frequencies, okay? Not only can it do that, but it can send the frequencies to other people. It can scan and send the frequencies, and it can do it remotely from anywhere in the world. So you don't even need to be present. These are called biofeedback therapy sessions, okay? I had biofeedback therapy for many years from my friend Laura Humphreys, Laura and the Machine. She lived in Scotland, or she still does, and I never actually met her in person. But she was sending me biofeedback therapy for years before I discovered this little device called Healy, okay? And since I discovered the Healy device, going back to when I was having sessions with Laura, I said that I would have one of those machines in my clinic one day. And those machines cost around 15,000 at the time. And then a few years later, I discovered the Healy device. And the Healy device is, an absolute fraction of that cost. And I decided to get myself a Healy after I'd had Kayan to help me recover, okay? And what it has done for me, for myself, my life, my health, my family, and my business is so much more than what I was initially investing in it for. And so this device has allowed me to heal many things, to have an awareness of what it is that actually requires healing. Okay, this is where the time-saving element comes in, because it can take us years on the healing journey as we're uncovering our layers, peeling back the layers, layer by layer, like an onion. It can take absolute years to really get to the root cause of what it was all along that was manifesting as disharmony in our health, in our relationships, in our finances, in our career, and fundamentally is often not loving ourselves, okay, which we've talked about a lot on this masterclass. But the Healy can tell you in an instant, in 5 seconds flat, it can tell you exactly what it is that's going on energetically, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And so I've been using this device, as I said, on myself, on my family. I've got many, many, many miracle stories that I could share with you. One I will share with you tonight was about Kayan. He had this ear infection and he had all this kind of gunk coming out of his ear. He seemed fine in himself. He didn't have any temperature or any other symptoms, but he had all this gunk coming out of his ear. And I didn't want to take him to the doctors because I didn't want them to just give him antibiotics. I trust in the body's ability to heal itself. And so we watched it for a little while, cleaned it out with olive oil every day. And then one day there was blood coming out of his ear. And I was thinking, hang on a minute, this is maybe we need to do something else here. So obviously my first choices would be homeopathic treatment, acupuncture, some form of integrative medicine, okay? But the first thing I did that day was I put the Healy on, okay? Now, there's many, many, many different programs in the Healy. One of the programs is a homeopathic program. So I chose the homeopathic program and it did a scan on him and it said which homeopathic remedies he needed and it sent him the frequencies for the homeopathic remedies, okay? So you don't even need the pills to take. It diagnoses and then it sends the frequencies. And so I left these frequencies running overnight on him and his ear's been squeaky clean ever since. That's just one example. I've got examples with animals. I've got examples with patients. I've got examples from my own family. But that is just one of the things. It can tell you what nutritional deficiencies you've got, and then instead of going out and spending an absolute fortune on nutritional supplements, it sends you the frequencies you need. So like I had period pain a couple of weeks ago, and since having Kayan, my period pain's been a lot better. Hardly have any period pain these days, but occasionally I'll get it. And these days, since having Kayan, I've never taken a painkiller for my period pains because I've got the Healy. Soon as I feel the period pain coming on, I just put the Healy on. And the exact frequency for period pain is 100 hertz. So it runs 100 hertz through the womb. And within 20 minutes, the pain's gone and it never comes back. Okay, so there's an exact frequency for any ailment. There's an exact frequency for every nutritional element. There's an exact frequency for any homeopathic treatment, acupuncture point. And my favourite thing about using this device for self-healing is that I don't necessarily use the Healy all the time when there's something wrong. I use it every day, multiple times a day, to actually give me more. Okay, so in terms of mindset, guys, there's abundance mindset and there's lack mindset. The lack mindset sees everything as wrong and is always trying to fix what's wrong. The abundance mindset just sees everything as pure potential. Everything's perfect exactly as it is, and we get to get more. We get to receive more, we get to experience more, we get to become more. And so that's what I use my Healy for, really, is for more energy, more clarity, more ideas, more abundance. Okay, there's wealth and success frequencies in the Healy as well. And drum roll, the biggest announcement is there's a new program coming out on the Healy, and it's called Healy Coach. And so you can use your Healy as your own coach. It'll pick up your subconscious limiting beliefs. It'll tell you what your blocks are to success. And it'll send you the frequencies to correct that. And you can use it as a professional, and you can create an entire coaching business using your Healy. So you can send friends and family the healing frequencies. And if you want to become a coach, you can use the Healy to start your coaching business. How amazing is that? So I put a post out a couple of days ago saying that I'm looking for people to work with who want to become coaches. So this is one of the ways, okay, that you can become a coach. You can get started with the Healy and saving time. It could take up to 6 months of working with a client to find out what their real subconscious limiting beliefs are. Okay? Really, when it comes down to it, making any changes in our lifestyle for self-healing or for career, finances or relationships, what really blocks us is mindset, 9 times out of 10, okay? 9 times out of 10, it's a mindset issue. And also, I would say it's an energy issue, because you may have a positive mindset, but if you haven't got enough energy, you won't be able to maintain it long term. Okay, so you need an overabundance of energy, which you can receive from all the things I've talked to you about this evening and through the Healy. So working with the Healy, identifying what the subconscious limiting beliefs and thoughts and patterns are, and receiving the frequencies, and doing that for others, saving months and months of coaching sessions to try and find out what the fundamental limiting belief is, and being able to send the exact frequency to correct that imbalance. This is blowing my mind, and I'm just so excited to be able to share this with you. So I got a few more things I want to say, and then this masterclass is coming to a close. So we haven't had any comments for a while. So let me know you're watching. Let me know if you've got any comments or questions. If you're excited about any of the things that I've mentioned, let me know in the comments. If you want to become a coach, there's also something else. There's a self-care coaching program coming up in October. It's a 3-month coaching program, and it's a qualification, okay, and then help to get clients afterwards as well. All right. Now, this coaching program, the self-care coaching program, it's not actually me that's running it. I'm part of it, okay, and it's run by Upself and Tracy Jewell. Okay, Tracy Jewell and Upself, who are the publishers of all my recent books. So if you want to do the self-care coaching certification, let me know and I'll send you a link to find out more information about it and to join us. We're all starting in October on this particular round. Then if you also want to know more about the Healy, send me a private message and I'll be more than happy. I think the best thing to do with the Healy is to have a quick session with me, just a 15-minute call, and I can run a scan for you and I can send you some frequencies so you get to experience the Healy, and then we can talk more about how to become a Healy owner and practitioner. The session is free, by the way. The 15-minute session with me to receive Healy frequencies is free. So we've got the self-care coaching program, we've got the Healy device for self-healing and also for professional use. And everything I've talked about in this masterclass tonight, I have a new online course coming up, and we're going to do a module on each of the things that I've talked about tonight, okay? So in this self-healing course, I'm going to be teaching you a meditation technique called body calm, which is taught by one of my mentors, Sandy Newbegin. Okay, he's an Ishaya monk, and he created this meditation technique called body calm. It's stillness and awareness, and how we can use it to identify the imbalances in the body. Okay, to really investigate, the word I'm looking for, to really investigate what is the root cause of any imbalances in the body. Okay, and so you get the added benefit of learning to meditate. Okay, and it has really good integration with Chinese medicine. Okay, so there's going to be modules on the Yang Sheng principles for nourishing life. I'm going to be telling you how to do all of those. There's also going to be a Reiki module in there where I'm going to be giving you a Reiki attunement and obviously teaching you all of the philosophy behind the Reiki system. If you want to do Reiki 1, 2 and 3, there's different options, okay? But there's going to be a Reiki module within this course. What else is in there? You got the meditation course, the Reiki course, the Yang Sheng principles for living. And as a bonus, you get a copy of my new book, Decoding the Wellness Mantra, which has a journal with it and a set of cards. Okay, so if you sign up today or within the next 48 hours to my new online course, which is starting in 3 weeks' time, it's called She Heals Herself. Okay, my self-healing course, where we're going to go deep on every topic we've talked about tonight, plus the bonuses of the Reiki attunements and the book, the journal and the cards. You can have all of that for £222 in the next 48 hours. Okay, after the next 48 hours, it's going to go up to £333 for all of that. I'm going to post in the group when it's running out. So if you want to have like tonight to think about it and you want to get back to me on that, send me a private message for that. And if you forget or whatever, I'll put a post up in the group to remind you of how long you've got until it goes up to 333. All right, guys. So I think that's everything that I wanted to cover tonight. Okay, so how exciting. You can heal yourself and you can become a coach or a healing professional. Okay, 3 different options. Oh, yeah, and I wanted to say, still here, connection has dropped a few times, so we'll do a full replay. Interested in learning more about Healy, self-healing course and the coaching course for October. Fantastic. All right, just dropping you a little love heart there. Oh, it won't stay up for long enough. But anyway, great. Okay, I love it too. All right, I really do. I mean, I absolutely live and breathe what I teach, and nothing gives me greater joy than to share it. And I really feel like there's a need right now for people to learn how to apply this for themselves. Okay, I think it's an old paradigm of going to someone for them to heal you. Obviously, that is still needed. We still need mentors, we still need teachers, we still need healers, but we also need self-empowerment. Okay, on the planet today, we need self-empowerment more than anything. And we're talking about self-empowerment in health, in relationships, in business. Okay, how many people's jobs have changed? How many people have had life-changing financial circumstances throughout the pandemic? Okay, having your own business is empowering. Having your own business is the most empowering and self-development journey you can go on. The self-healing and self-development that you get from having your own business is second to none. Okay? Because it's about living your dharma, the purpose you're born for. And so having your own business can really give you that growth, okay, and that abundance and that satisfaction, that fulfillment. And you don't have to leave your job to do it. All these things can be done as well as your job, because if you're self-healing, you're increasing your energy, and with increased energy you're going to have more time, abundance, enthusiasm and drive to actually do something outside of work, okay? And so your work, your job can be your safety money, and your business can be your abundance, okay? And then it becomes limitless because it's not clouded by limiting beliefs and fears. But I would never discourage you from going into it, for going for your dreams either. I'm not saying everyone has to keep their jobs, but to begin with, it's a good idea. Keep your job, build something on the side, and then if in the future it becomes big enough that you want to let go of your job and just do that full time, then you're self-actualizing. But in the meantime, it's not about fixing, changing, improving circumstances. It's about accepting things exactly as they are, loving yourself and loving what is, and then the vibration, the frequency raises, and then you've got the energy and the ability to do more. All right, guys. So, final point, because I did say on my lives before we came onto this masterclass that there was a financial element. Obviously, this is part of it. There's options to increase your, or even start your own business through the Healy and the self-care coaching program. And Reiki as well. If you want to become Reiki attuned, you can then become a Reiki master and actually teach Reiki like I did. This was the very beginning of my own journey. Okay, so 3 options where you can either increase or start your own business. And then finally, my current coach, Melanie Ann Leah, is the absolute wealth creation queen. She's teaching a course on wealth. It's coming up on the 13th of September. It starts, okay? It's called Exponential Wealth, and it's about the energetics of money. So if you want to learn money and particularly wealth creation, then let me know. I've got an affiliate link for Melanie's Exponential Wealth course, okay? But if you've got any questions on anything at all that I've discussed this evening, any of the offers or any of the topics we've covered, please, please, please send me a private message. And if there's enough questions in the group, because obviously most people are watching the replay, if over the next week I've got questions in the group, I'll do a Q&A, another live next week where I'll answer all your questions, okay? But if it's about any of the offers or anything like that, just private message me and I'll look forward to speaking to you very soon. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you and good night.